Hello there, this is Judah Mantell from SceneForge Studio, and in this video I'm going to go over version 0.5.7. It has a major new feature that I'm super excited to share with you, so let's jump right in. Here I have this 3D model of Obi-Wan Kenobi from the Clone Wars show, as well as a hallway from a Star Destroyer that we're using as our scene. So you'll notice immediately that he is very shiny, which is not really the look we want. He kind of looks like a plastic action figure. In some cases that may be good, but in this case it's not really what we want. Now, previously, SceneForge would kind of just take the materials of the imported models and do whatever it felt like on that given day without much configurability. So now it's much easier to add customization. So we can select any model we want. This works on rigged characters and other types of objects like this hallway. So I'm going to select him, and there's a new button that appears in the properties called Edit Object Materials. So we can just select this, and it will open up a new menu that displays all the materials on this object. Now, the materials displayed here directly depend on the materials associated with the model, and that is set up in your 3D modeling program. So if someone else made this from Sketchfab, keep in mind that that is up to the way they modeled the model. So we have the head and body. These are two materials, and they're very well named and separated, which is much appreciated. It makes things a little bit easier. So if I were to open up the head, you can see we can see the texture here, which is a little creepy with the teeth and the eyeball, but this is just the way it looks laid out before it gets put onto the model itself. We have a couple options here. We can change the tint color, which is exactly as it sounds. So we can make him green or blue or whatever color we want. By default, white is just no tint, so that's probably what you're going to want in most cases. So I'm going to click done. Next, we have two properties available right now. Now, depending on the images that are assigned to the material, you'll have different properties available, such as metallic maps and things like that, occlusion. But for now, because this model has basically all maps associated with it, normal maps, metalness maps, these are the options we have available. So to decrease the shine, we can just make him less smooth. So let's decrease this, and you'll see immediately his head looks a lot more matte finished, like he does in the cartoon. And now we can do the same for his body, just like that. So now it looks much better, and it really fits better with the look we're going for. Now what's cool is that the shininess or the smoothness directly impacts the reflections of the object. So you can see here we have our hallway, and this is generally a pretty reflective object. But if I were to open up the materials, you can see we have our door over here, and I'm going to turn this all the way down. You can see we have the properties changing. I'm going to turn this all the way down, and I'm going to enable ray trace reflections. And you can see we have really nice reflections on the floor and on parts of the walls over here, but this door is very flat. That's because if you were to turn this up all the way, you see now it gets much shinier, and if we just re-update this by turning it off and turning it on again, you'll see now we have the nice reflections on the door. So for the most part, as a general rule, the way light interacts with your objects have a direct correlation to the materials. So if I were to even take a light bulb and move it around Obi-Wan here, and if I were to turn the reflection all the way up, or the smoothness all the way up, when I take a light bulb and I move it around him, you can see the way the light kind of has like an extra little bit of a glow, an extra glare, like right there. And as I turn this down, you can see the intensity of that reflectiveness turns down as well. So keep that in mind when working with your materials and setting them up in the way that you would like. And so with that is version 0.5.7. There's a couple other bug fixes and improvements, such as being able to focus on rigged characters a lot cleaner. So now if I click F, it'll properly put it in the viewport, which is good. And a couple other things that are behind the scenes you don't have to worry about. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you in the next video.